Hey everybody, it's me, Justin. I want to introduce to you guys Keegan Moldenhauer. Keegan runs a company called Internship on Demand, which helps employers connect with interns who are qualified for the position. He's got an innovative approach to this, and today I want to kind of unpack why he started this business, what problems this business solves, and kind of talk about the opportunity businesses have when it comes to hiring interns that many businesses probably have never really been thought about.
Justin, great to be here, man. It's fun. I'm excited to talk about internship on demand, share a little bit about what we're working on, what we're building, and how we can help college grads, early career professionals, and employers start off on the right foot.
Cool. So one of the things we do in preparation for these shows, guys, is that I'm not the professional in terms of like deep knowledge level expert on this stuff. So Keegan is. So I had Keegan write some questions ahead of time just so I could understand some of these issues better. And the first question we're going to be asking of Keegan of this whole area of internships is this question of why is early talent broken? And Keegan, I'd love to know your take on that. Why is early talent broken?
Yeah, of course. I'll try to steer away. I mean, as a early career professional myself, I've seen the candidate side of what it's like to start a career, but thinking about really from a bigger picture perspective, looking at employee retention and employee turnover. I'm sure it's no surprise to you, no surprise to your listeners that turnover is higher than it's ever been. Employee retention is lower and harder to control than it's ever been. And really, we think about that as just a poor employee employer match, whether it's salary, culture, job fit, and really thinking about where does that employer employee relationship begin. It's early career. It's getting the relationship started from the internship program, from the co-op program, from those first couple years, honestly, the first 90 days of a career. And really, when we look at what employers are doing and candidates as well, there's just a lack of due diligence, really, where candidates are going into a company not fully understanding the culture, the job, the career choice that they're getting into, and employers are hiring based on one, two interviews, really trying to fill a position. And well, what might work for the first 90 days, the first year, when you look past that, that's where you really start to see employees leave, or employers, moving on and finding new people to bring in.
Mm-hmm. So, when you talk about these internships, a lot of people they have an idea of often that's too difficult to set up, or that's too complicated, or that there's no value for us for interns. A lot of employers do have that attitude still today. What would be your response to that? Is it where do you kind of what does internship on demand do to solve that problem, to make it easier, to make it more valuable?
Yeah, of course. So I think first off there, Justin, that's a great point, right? Like internships are expensive. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time to manage interns. But when you look at the outcomes that can come from an internship program, I mean, there's a lot of great talent that can be accessed while they're still going through that collegiate experience. It's great for companies who have work that needs to be done, or projects that they need to be worked on. A lot of these college students are coming out really knowing a lot of professional skills, whether it's how to do research, right? I'm a mechanical engineer. I have mechanical engineering experience at Kohler, Sub-Zero, and in a lighting firm in Chicago. And the more experience you build as a college student, you can actually do some meaningful work for a company. And also, when you look at really hiring, that's what companies want to do with that internship program. It's really the start of that early career experience. I mentioned that early talent, starting that relationship off well. The internship program allows companies to find their next leaders, their next managers. Heck, even the CEO could be the intern, right? But making sure that you're looking at that and converting those candidates into full-time employees. We
Mm-hmm.
look at data from the National Association of Colleges and Employers. Candidates hired from an internal internship are almost 12% more likely to stay at that company after the 1 year mark compared to hires with external internship experience. And they're almost 30% more likely to be at that company compared to hires who have no prior internship experience. So there's a lot of ROI in having an effective internship program because those candidates are one, doing work for you, and two, when they convert, they're more likely to be at that company at the 1 year and the 5 year mark.
So when when you talk to companies, Keegan, about internships, what is the pain point you're helping them solve rather than just saying, hey, you need more interns. Where do you guys come in with this whole thing?
Yeah, so we've definitely seen it kind of fall into two buckets. Our bread and butter, the companies we're focused on right now are B2B engineering, manufacturing, and smaller market firms who really don't have the brand awareness or the maturity or the revenue to compete with the larger firms for that high level talent. So we can help those employers really kind of build that brand and share it with students. I mean, we're partnered with over 20 universities, getting on campus and talking to students, really helping share the story of what a brand is and let students know. We're also looking at moving earlier in that value chain. As a smaller company or a mid-sized company trying to compete at junior, senior level, they're going to lose out to bigger, more resourced firms. Internship on demand, we're able to access talent at the freshman and sophomore level, get candidates excited about a company, put them through a pre-internship where they can learn the culture, learn the tools, and be more impactful as they convert into full-time interns. The second bucket is for some of those larger firms. We've definitely seen a push towards engaging diverse candidates in an equitable fashion. So being able to offer these pre-internships where over 70% of our candidates are female or minority, we're able to really open the door and help students get a foot in the door with a company and then help those companies convert those candidates into interns.
Got it. Well, tell me more about these pre-internships. That sounds really intriguing. I've never heard of that before. Is that a concept you came up with? Tell me about that.
Yeah, of course. So I think we might not have coined the term pre-internship, but it definitely is pretty descriptive of what we do. We really like to build these programs and build these initiatives ahead of the internship program. So a pre-internship is essentially a part-time virtual experience that a company can build with our team to engage candidates ahead of their internship program. It handles the recruiting, some pre-skilling. Candidates go through online curriculum with our team that we've developed to accelerate that professionalism as well as industry focused skills. Then we have some cultural programming and some engagement where our candidates are meeting with employees at our partner organizations to really understand what it's like to be at that company. The intent is these pre-internships make it so that a candidate who wants to come on board to a company can do so at a cheaper, more efficient rate for our company partners. And then when they come on board, they're ready to go, ready to rock and roll from day one of that internship. Another key value of those pre-internships is taking really that vetting process where most companies right now are spending anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 to recruit, manage, and pay an intern for a summer. When that candidate decides they don't want to come back, that's money that company is essentially wasted. So moving that pre-internship vetting process earlier, we can do that for a fraction of the costs.
Well, tell me about why would an intern, let's go to talk to the intern side. I'm putting myself in the shoes of somebody who's in college, they're looking at becoming an intern. What would prompt them to join your pre-internship program?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, the big one is our pre-internship programs are always paid. We're committed to paying students while they go through this training program, while they're spending time working with the company, getting to know them. So we're paying students. We're also offering a great, obviously a little bit biased here, but a great way to boost that resume as students look ahead to the fall and the spring career fair. We run our pre-internship programs over winter and summer break. This is a great time for our pre-interns to boost that resume, fill it out, work with our team to really get themselves prepared to go out and land that next internship opportunity. I
Got it.
also think about, my time as a freshman going out to the career fair when companies say, "Hey, come back to us junior year." And I think I'm still a little bit scarred. We can offer an opportunity for those students to really find experience to boost their resume after the freshman and after the sophomore year, where they're traditionally underserved.
So they're paid to get experience. They're paid to get professional skills built up. Tell me about the employer side. So the employer is paying you for that pre-internship program to be created. Do they get to go just to one employer, or is it kind of a pool of employers?
Yeah, so that's a great, yeah, great question, Justin. When we think about our pre-internship programs, it's really, totally open to what our companies and what our candidates are looking for. We've gotten a lot of really positive feedback from employers that we've talked with and worked with about having candidates participate in multiple programs. Now, a phrase we didn't coin, didn't come up with ourselves, is positive friction. We've certainly gotten some positive feedback that if a candidate is going through multiple pre-internships, has the opportunity to pick their preferred location for an internship next cycle, that the employers who didn't land that candidate at least know they can focus on the candidates who actually want to be there, who have a really high positive chance to convert from pre-intern to intern, and then eventually into full-time employees.
Got it. Well, can you share any success stories you've seen using this pre-internship model with anyone that's gone through your program?
Yeah, yeah. So I'll share a couple success stories. I think the first one I'll hit on is from a student story. One of the candidates in our last pre-internship program with Bemis Manufacturing up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Our last cohort we had 9 engineering students participating from across the country, a few from Wisconsin. Then we actually had 5 students from Howard University. One of our students, Brady, joined the program as an electrical engineer, or as a mechanical engineer, excuse me, went through the program, got to spend some time meeting with engineers at Bemis, working on the design of a smart toilet seat for an upcoming Bemis product. And at the end of that program, told us that he's switching his major from mechanical to electrical. So that's a really cool opportunity, right, for us as a program to help candidates figure out where their best career fit is. Traditionally, Brady and other students like him would have had to wait until junior, senior year, or heck, even till they get to a full-time job where they go, "Hey, I don't want to be a mechanical engineer, right? My passion is electrical engineering." As a mechanical engineer myself, doesn't make a lot of sense, but I get it. And then I think another success story from the employer side is again with Bemis. They've been a super supportive partner as we build out programming with them and continue to launch new features. We had again those 9 students participate. We had Bemis express, their top 3 who they want to convert, matched up with the top 3 recommendations that we wanted to make. And we're in talks of making the hire to go from pre-intern to intern to one of our electrical engineering candidates from UW-Madison. So really thinking that we were able to get a student who otherwise would not have known or been aware that Bemis Manufacturing had this great culture, this great organization up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. We were able to help them tell that story, find a great candidate, and now turn that candidate into a full-time intern.
Wonderful. Yeah, a lot of employers are looking, especially in manufacturing, which is one of the industries you serve, is they're looking at alternative ways to kind of attract, I should say, the next generation of talent. And one of the things I've heard a lot is creating your own pipeline for training and building up your own folks to get them at that certain level. In many ways, you are a really wonderful solution where you can plug into a company and give them a pre-vetted pipeline of candidates who can, once they're in, have a higher likelihood, it sounds like, of staying with you as an employer versus just hiring somebody right off the street. Is that right?
Yeah, totally, Justin. It's definitely a focus on how can we make that retention conversion process easier and more effective. It's probably no surprise that if you can get someone in and kind of develop them as a home talent, get them ready to rock and roll off the bench, that they're going to be at that company longer. They're going to be, if you can keep a candidate engaged and an employee engaged, they're going to be more productive. They're going to be more impactful as an employee. and I'm certainly excited about the offer of turning that pipeline into a really healthy bench for our employers to continually fill their early talent programs themselves, do it more effectively, and do it more efficiently.
Got it. Well, tell me about what makes for an ideal client for you. What makes for the type of partner client for you that says, we're ready for this. We want to hit the ground running. We believe in developing talent. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but tell me, what does a good client look like for you guys?
Yeah, of course, Justin. So, I mean, a good client for us, I think number one is somebody who's either hosting and running a pre-internship on a yearly basis. This is a company that might be recruiting 10 to 20 students every single year. So they're going out to those career fairs, they're paying someone to go and talk about the company. We can offer those employers an opportunity to do that from the virtual setting through our pre-internships and allow internship on demand and our talent network to fill out those pre-internships so they can eventually fill that internship program. It is really in pre-internship to internship is where our focus is, and helping those employers fill out that internship program. Another one is employers who are looking to build out an internship program for the first time. It's certainly stressful and time consuming to build that program from the start. And something that we've learned is there's not a lot of best practices when it comes to how employers run internship programs. We've talked with a lot of companies and have some resources that we'd love to share to really help level up and start that internship program from day one.
Keegan, you mentioned someone can reach out to you for more information about building an internship. Where can they do that?
Yeah, of course. So the first thing I'd say is check out our website, www.internshipondemand.com. You can also sign up for our email newsletters or contact me as I build out and recruit for upcoming programs. You can reach me. My email is keegan@internshipondemand.com. And I definitely say check us out on LinkedIn, internshipondemand.com. We're frequently posting a lot of wins and case studies and information about pre-internships and the value of early talent recruiting.
All right. Well, Keegan, thank you so much for this time. It was really insightful to learn about this idea of pre-internships, which I wasn't very familiar with, but now it's a really interesting program. I think it's really going to be a valuable asset for companies who are trying to build out their talent pipelines in the next few years as the workforce gets smaller, and the talent shortage becomes more severe. I think this is a really, really good thing to be looking at as working with companies like yours. So thank you for your time.
Yeah, of course, Justin. Excited to talk more. We know how important early talent programming is, and we're excited to be in that space.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Justin.